What is the most terrifying fact about our universe/world? The universe's opinion of us, mostly harmless, are a nice guide reference. How unfathomably tiny our planet is in comparison to the continuously expanding universe, and if the multiverse exists, even our universe could be nothing but an insignificant speck. What's outside the universe? If it's always expanding, what is it expanding into? Anytime I think about this for too long, it reminds me about how little I understand about the existence of anything, and it scares me. Literally was just thinking about which part is infinite. Is the universe infinite, or is the space it's expanding into infinite? My mind just breaks. And if it's the latter, then what the duck is out there before the universe showed up? It's seriously way now to make me wonder. Do humans really have the capability to achieve spaceflight, planetary colonization, and eventually faster than light travel? I go to sleep and think about these things. There could be intelligent life on other planets, or we could be the only form of intelligent life in the universe. Either scenario is pretty terrifying to me. Being all alone in the vast expanse of space is an extremely interesting possibility. I scoff when people say it would be boring or a waste of space. It would be absolutely fascinating if there was all of that out there, and then just us. All of this land for humanity to expand and grow up on, to evolve and adapt to. Very cool and interesting thought that has definitely run through my mind before. You can be born into a completely awful and nightmarish environment and never escape it. You'll be born miserable and die miserable. Good news is you may not know the difference and think instead that you've had a pretty nice life. Yeah man. The kid getting their tongue skinned probably thinks their life is pretty nice. Humans can't understand the concept of eternal, and we can't understand the concept of infinite. It's a finite mind trying to understand an infinite universe. We are not yet at the point of no return for the coming ecological catastrophe, and we are gonna sail past it anyway. Considering the fact that our planet is the only one known to sustain intelligent life in the discovered universe, it reminds you of how many things have to line up perfectly in order for that to be possible. It is a very fragile balance, and certain ecological and atmospheric temperatures/resources/chemical concentrations are essential. Yet we look at the way we are carelessly screwing it up. But it is easy to imagine this 1 in a million planet becoming unlivable. I've posted this before, but I think about it a lot. Our civilization is so early. The universe is expected to continue star formation for 100 trillion years. We exist 13.7 billion years after the Big Bang. That's 0.014% of the total habitable time of our universe. If the Big Bang was January 1st, 1900 and star formation ends at January 1st, 2000, then it's currently January 6th, 1900. What are the chances of that? Why do we exist now, so early, instead of any other point in the rest of time? Maybe we are the single-celled organisms that start life in the universe. Thanks, I hate it. There are 5 to 10 people on the planet that could choose to wipe humanity off the face of the earth in a thermonuclear war at any given moment. I wonder what the interview is like for people in these positions. Like, ever felt like you just want to blow the planet up for shits and gigs? No? Oh, good job's yours. Nah, it's can you remember these words? Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Okay, you're good to go. That it's all going to be just nothing one day, not nothing. Just a different form of what things are right now. Even if in the event of heat death hundreds of trillions upon hundreds of trillions years from now, the blackened universe will still be icy rocks floating through space. Even then, it can't be said for sure. All we can do is theorize what will happen. That's the exciting thing. There's so many theories on how this inconceivably large universe ends. The blackened universe will still be icy rocks floating through space. False. The heat death of the universe is the breakdown of matter itself. Atoms are not forever. The decay into a release of photons and heat. Edit. Fine. They actually have a decay chain wherein they break down into other particles that equal the m-but of the original. But the final, smallest particle ultimately decays into a release of photons and heat. There won't be ice or rocks. All we can do is theorize what will happen. Mostly false. There's only 2 or 3 realistic ways this all winds down. and they line up pretty closely. We'll likely know for sure in the next few generations when we have broader surveying capabilities, so we can quantify the amount of stuff in the universe to a higher degree of specificity. Only just 5% of the ocean was explored. Who knows how much are we missing? 95%. We have millions of unknown living things on our planet, and most will never be discovered due to humans killing nature. TBH, it's not even just humans killing nature. Humans are also just not capable of seeing or hearing tons of things. There could be a giant 4-dimensional love dragon sitting next to me, and if I hear a fart my brain will blame it on the dog, cause I can't see the dragon. Or that's how I interpreted the other posts on this stuff recently, lol. You are going to die. No matter how much technology improves, you will never be one of the rich near-feudal lords who can afford to live forever. If it makes anyone feel better, your matter is going to go on. You'll die, decompose, become nutrients for the world, and be utilized again and again in different ways for millions of years. And billions of years from now, when the sun scorches the earth and consumes it, we will become part of the sun or cosmic dust floating through the universe. Forever. We've been here long before we became a human, and we will be here long after our role of being human ends. Mum said it's my turn with a carbon. Someday we will destroy our own planet by doing the things we do, and we all will die, except cockroaches. Next time there's a world war, most of the human population will be destroyed. I know not with what weapons World War I will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Albert Einstein, if the best weapons available were sticks and stones, then there wouldn't be a world war, because we wouldn't have the technology to travel to other countries. That there may be 4D organisms right now near us, but we can even imagine or see them, because we live in a 3D world. A fish living in a pond can still see the shadows that objects cast on the water. If there were something displaced in another dimension that interacted with the known universe, it would also be consistently detectable, whether directly or through side effects of contact. There is something like 68% of all matter in the universe that can't be accounted for in stars, planets, black holes, or other celestial bodies. Perhaps this massive amount of unaccounted embut is the shadow of matter existing at a higher dimensional plane. Between galaxies there is just a void of nothing. Actually there isn't just nothing. There are usually scattered stars and other space junk like rocks/asteroids and millions of other things. Go watch Neil's TikTok videos about that, it's really interesting. Go watch Neil's TikTok is a phrase I never thought I'd read. It is fundamentally devoid of meaning. Everything around us is governed by impersonal laws of physics. The universe is not oriented toward a goal. It is destined to end in high entropy nothingness. I don't think this is terrifying at all. I would find it much scarier to think there's actually some hidden knowledge we are all supposed to figure out before we die, and if we don't then some all-knowing malevolent being sentences us to an eternity of suffering. Not necessarily facts, but theories that could be proven fact. 1. Higher dimensional beings. Visualize if there was a 2D person. If you gaze at them in a specific way, they can't see you. All you have to do is look from a top view and they would not know you are there. And they would never know. Living their life as 2D, they would never be capable of comprehending how something could be viewing down on them. Now visualize a 4D person. They could be observing you from a 4-dimensional angle, an angle that you will never comprehend. They could be right alongside you, but you would not know, and you would never know. Just as we could interact with the 2D person, the 4D person could interact with us. But as long as they do not want us to, we could never interrelate with them or not even know of them. 2. Fermi paradox. Let's say there is an anthill in the mid of the forest, and right next to the anthill, we are constructing a 10-lane superhighway. And the question is, would the ants be capable of comprehending what a 10-lane superhighway is? Would the ants be capable of comprehending the technology and the purposes of the beings constructing the highway next to them? So it is not that we cannot pick up the signals from Planet X using our technology. It is that we cannot even understand what the beings from Planet X are, or what they are trying to do. It is so beyond us that, even if they actually wanted to educate us, it would be like trying to teach ants about the internet. When Pizarro entered into Peru, did he stop for a while at an anthill to attempt to communicate? Was he generous? Trying to help the ants in the anthill? Did he become aggressive and slow his original mission down in order to smash the anthill apart? Or was the anthill of complete and utter and eternal insignificance to Pizarro? That might be our condition here. 3. Sixth embutt extinction. We are at present living through what many biologists consider to be the sixth embutt extinction that the world has ever experienced. D. This is going to be a stimulating puzzle for the species that comes after us. S. It was not until around the year 1800 that humanity touched a population of 1 billion after thousands and thousands of years. S. In the 215 years since then. N. The world population has raised to 7.2 billion. N. That exponential growth has very big and long-lasting negative effects on our planet. T. And will continue to do so until we reach carrying capacity or die off. F. The fact that conscious and intelligent life exists at all. When you look at the fundamental matter that makes up every object in the universe, everything is made up of atoms, molecules and certain combinations of periodic element. These in themselves are not living matter. So at what point did a certain combination of these things become a conscious life form? And what about an actual self-aware, intelligent life form like a human as opposed to simpler bacteria? We are still made of the same matter as objects that are not considered alive. So where does consciousness come from? The evolution of our brains, all things considered, is really interesting. This isn't terrifying, but it certainly is interesting. Well, the fact that we don't know over 99% of what's in the universe is pretty damn scary to me. The hypothetical scenarios that arise from not knowing what exists and what technology is out there in distant galaxies is pretty scary. I was watching a documentary about Mars, and they kept saying, the planet wants to kill you. Outer space doesn't want to kill anyone. We just weren't evolved to live there. I don't like when people give the universe this sort of tough guy attitude. We can do what we want. It doesn't care if you go out of an environment you can exist in. You'll die. It's nothing personal. It's just how it is. We could be obliterated in the blink of an eye by a rock from space we never even saw coming. Not as scary as some other ones here, but size is only relative in existence. This means that the entirety of space, impossible to comprehend its size, could be only one atom, one single tiny piece of something even bigger, and chances are we will never know. So since the universe is fat and ever expanding, then Americans are just spiritually connecting to the universe by ordering extra fries. It's an instinctual need to expand our waistlines in the image of our creator. Portliness is next to godliness. Humans. If we statistically understood how close we were to dying just about every time we did anything, we'd like not doing anything. My cousin died in a senseless car accident this summer. He was on his way to work, down a country road not all that well traveled, and one he's driven for the better part of half a century. Some ashot was behind a van in the other lane, and didn't care he was in a no passing zone. He broke the speed limit, and went to pass, pulled out right in front of my cousin, and had a head-on collision, killing him instantly. After his death, I just kept thinking about how specific the scenario had to be. If he'd needed to piss, or had a second bowl of cereal, if he dropped his keys, or checked the mail, that one last time, he'd have missed being in that spot at that specific time. So many things had to go just exactly right for him to die in that scenario. It's improbable as all fuck, and yet, they did. Some people still use metal utensils or non-stick pans. We have yet to explore the entire ocean. The kraken probably lurks on the ocean floor and I need to see it. Approximately 5% of the universe is visible. This includes the Earth, stars, galaxies etc. We know nothing. If the universe is infinite, how can we approximate a percent that is visible with advanced mathematics? Your penis can break in half. Even though it's going to be millions if not trillions of years. I'm scared of what would happen if to Earth and the solar system after the sun dies out. Will another world be reborn? Question mark. Will there be another solar system? Will there be another Earth? We just don't know what could happen. Maybe the theory of the multiverse is real but no one has found us yet. There is more new hentai/porn than normal anime on TV. One day the sun will explode, and iron will kill of humanity. Also black holes exist. The Big Rip. Someday every matter will simply fall apart. The galaxies will come apart. The stars will come apart. The planets will come apart. Even human, if they survive the next 22 billion years, will simply fall apart. Even the atoms will fall apart. If atoms also fall apart, does that mean there will be nuclear explosions everywhere? Unlikely, and even if they did it would be irrelevant, as the Big Rip is the collapse of the cosmological horizon. First the stars would seem to be cut off from each other as the expansion of the universe tears them away faster than light. Then the planets. So by the time atoms split, the energy couldn't ever touch any other object. Anyone could just kill you if they wanted to. Who can be / probably is real. Somewhere out there in the vast universe, your biggest irrational supernatural fears could very well be real. But they are so far away, so it'll probably be fine. It could all go black. All stars die. Black holes power out. And nothing. Just a blank void with nothing in it. And nothing going in it. And yes, another big bang could happen. But that's a lot of chance. Torture is painful beyond anything you could imagine. If you were to be kidnapped and taken somewhere remote, there are a large number of horrific ways the kidnapper or kidnappers could inflict excruciating pain on you. Try getting over a broken hip sometime. We've had 4 of those in elderly family members, and lost 3 of my grandparents/grandsibs to those. That kind of pain is very unrelenting, as well. And most times, despite having a great orthosurgeon, never really goes away. Months later it still can be hard to walk, and often painful as well. But the real threat was its 1/3 death rate, and if we survive, it's beating the odds. And broken hips are part of our biological universe, as well. The bystander effect, which is, the more people there are witnessing a bad thing happen, the less likely it is that someone will try to do anything about it. It's not that we aren't alone. It's that we have no idea what their intentions are. You know how rooms, and even elevators, have a maximum capacity? Well, scientists calculated the maximum capacity of Earth and it's 10 billion. We're at 8 billion. This is just incredibly misleading. There isn't a known maximum limit on our planet due to our advancements in resource consumption. Eventually there might be one. But the limit 200 years ago was drastically smaller than what it is today, which is smaller than what it will be in 50 years. Malthusian theory / cornucopian theory, and the rest of them, are just what they are. Theories, because we really don't know if there is a limit, let alone if we would ever actually hit one on a grand scale of an entire planet. Any second an asteroid could blink us out. Do you really think the powers that be would tell us that we have hours to live? Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.